Get ready with me at 4 p.m. while I tell you about why I haven't filmed any videos in 2 weeks and I was on the verge of giving up YouTube. So basically, I think that when you post a bunch of videos, it gets discouraging sometimes because you don't always see the results, and that's just the nature of social media and content creation. I think there's disproportionately a small number of videos that'll gain you most of your viewers and most of your comments and engagement, and most of your videos, at some point, they just do really, really bad. I think that after almost an entire year of doing this consistently, there are periods of time where I just get really tired of keeping up with the flow. And although I think consistency requires a lot of discipline, sometimes that can only take you so far. And there are times where you simply just want to break from it. And I think burnout is the number one reason why. The cat. Burnout is the number one reason why a lot of YouTubers give up on their careers even after they got big. And so I don't think that it's abnormal to just take a little break and come back once you're ready, which is what I was doing. By the way, my mirror is like right here, and in case you're wondering why the blinds are already down, it's like freaking dark at 4 p.m. So I don't really know what's going on with daylight savings and the weather these days, but it's really not ideal for my mood and emotional stability either, because I really like the warm weather and I like sunlight. I think that's just what keeps me going, which is why during the summer when I was in San Francisco, I was just doing so well. But oh my god, what's up with the cat? Sorry, there's a lot going on, but currently I'm just not doing super well because there's not a lot of sunlight, and it's also final season. I feel like I'm also getting really tired of the end of the semester. Everything just feels like it's crashing down a little all at once, and sometimes I just have to acknowledge these challenges and the existence of it. There are times where I can push through, but then other times like these, I think I simply just needed a break. And that is why during the time that I was off of YouTube, I was posting from time to time some videos that I have already recorded, but I have not posted yet. So I was just using all these existing footage to, I guess, upload when I was still able to. Sometimes when you post like so often and when there's so much consistency, it feels like you're literally giving up on your entire life and you haven't posted for a lifetime when you just stop posting for a week or two straight. And I think it wasn't really helpful for my self-accountability and how I see myself, because I kind of just saw myself as a quitter, and I saw myself as someone who's just not strong enough emotionally to keep myself consistent. Even after a whole year of practicing this, it just felt like I was coming back to ground zero. That obviously was not a good feeling, and at the same time, I was just starting to do some new brand content with 2 brands, and so I was also going to do those, although I eventually figured out a method to batch post and batch edit all of my footage, and so that is still going, although it's still going slowly right now. I also just felt like after 2 weeks, already felt like a lifetime of not posting, and now I kind of feel ready to come back and to start posting again, because I still just never forgot about the reason why I started, which is the fact that I do love content creation and I love documenting my life online, and I also love sharing knowledge or challenges or whatever thoughts and feelings that I have, because I know that so many things are universal and you're never going through something alone. So I want to be that person to be able to share things with you guys online. And also I got this new Charlotte Tilbury setting powder during the Sephora sale, or no, just Black Friday in general. I might have gotten it from the website. I've heard so many good things about it, but because how pricey it was, I never got the chance to try it out. So I finally pulled my trigger, and I also ordered this other lipstick for my mom and I, which is something that I really enjoyed. And that's why I think I'm ready to come back and I am ready to start posting again. I don't know how much more consistent I can be, to be honest, in the future, because I've been struggling with consistency so much over the past full year. And I think even now there are times where I would not record anything 3 to 4 days in a row, and then afterwards I would come back and I would try recording twice a day for a few days straight, and it just goes in the cycle over and over again. But generally, I never forgot about what Alex Hormozy said when he came to Babson College and when he spoke to all of us, which is the fact that as long as you don't give up, and as long as like you're still in the game, you're never losing. You only lose when you give up, and you only lose by suicide, quote unquote, when you choose to not be in the game anymore. And so that's why I think even when I feel that there are challenges, and even when I feel like emotionally I'm pretty burnt out, at some point I still choose to come back and I still choose to continue to show up once again, which is a commendable thing for myself, I believe. Also, these days, schoolwork was just, I think, dragging me down so much for the past entire month because I never liked school in the first place, but when there isn't a lot of workload, at least I feel like it's bearable. But then final season rolled around and there were just so many projects, so many essays all at once, and it was all just coming crashing down altogether. And also I feel like these college courses, although they're not hard, I think they're just extremely time consuming with all the expectations that the professors have and whatever like rubrics they have. You have to follow all these guidelines to write these papers and do these presentations, and there are like certain points that you need to hit to get all the points. And I don't love my professors this semester, to be honest. Neither do they love me. And that's why there are just a lot of challenges with completing those in, like, I guess, a still acceptable manner. I'm not looking for anything to be perfect, but at least I need to pass all these courses. And I think for the past month, I've just been struggling a lot with doing all right in school for those reasons. And circling back to daylight savings, I think it's affected my mood and emotion so much. Like, realistically speaking, I don't think the weather should dictate how my life is going, but somehow it is. When there's no sunlight and when I don't get my vitamin D, when I can't go out for walks and do things outside being exposed to sunlight, I am now sleeping so much later than before. I think this year was the first year where I started to sleep at a very reasonable time and then come up with a schedule for myself to follow day-to-day basis, and I was doing quite well, to be honest. I think I got into a more consistent workout schedule after such a long time, but it just all fell apart once daylight savings started and once the weather started to get cold and I just started finding excuses for myself. Again, I know that a lot of this can be solved by having a stronger mentality and by having, I guess, more discipline in my own life, but sometimes it can only go so far and I am not a perfect person. So that's why when it fails me, I just simply go back into old cycles and I fall back into these old habits that are not the best. But again, I'm just trying to get out of it once again. As people, we all have struggles, and this is just what I am going through right now. I wonder what you guys are up to. If anything fun is happening in your lives, or are you also struggling with something? I feel like towards the end of the year, there's just a lot of winter blues and people are looking for the holiday seasons. People don't want to work as much anymore, and I feel like this is just all part of the normal emotions and cycles. Yes, my blush is right here. I've said this 1,000 times before, but I'm still trying to see if I can batch record and batch edit for my own content, because I've been trying to do it for brands and I think it does work well for me personally, just because there's so much fluctuation in when I feel like recording and when I don't feel like recording. And so if I can just do a lot of things all at once for 3 to 4 days every week, and there's around 3 days off, then I think that also just might make my consistency better, because then will have days off if I don't feel like recording. But I think that it takes a lot of mental effort for me to be able to get in front of the camera and speak and share ideas. Also, I don't know why this lighting is making everything look so not subtle, although in real life this makeup right now is pretty normal. It just does not look normal on camera right now. This is so bad. But yeah, I do want to start batch recording my own content. I just don't know if that's gonna happen. Fingers crossed. And let's just hope that it does. Over the winter break, I am going back to Toronto. Right now, I am in Boston. Am I looking forward to going to Toronto? Kind of, just because the food here is so shitty, and genuinely I get really tired of the dining hall food, and so I am looking forward to having some good food, especially good Asian food in Toronto, since it's a really multicultural and there's a lot of food that's just more authentic than there is in Boston. Since it's my hometown, I also don't want to stay there for too long, just because I feel like I get back into the old mentalities and old cycles of doing things when I get back to the same place as I was in high school. But I do think that having a gym that's in my building and just being able to access that in the winter will help me keep consistent, because I need to like lower the barrier to doing things somehow to be able to do it more often. And a problem that I have with my school gym is that although it's not far, I need to cross these like back fields at school to actually get to the gym. It's not a long walk, but in the winter it still gets really cold, as well as there's no lights at the back, so it gets challenging for you to actually walk through. And so in Toronto, I really hope that this winter season I can keep my gym routine consistent, because that's a huge part of my life. And I feel like when I have a consistent gym routine, I have like a consistent lifestyle in general. It does help with my self-esteem and my confidence a lot, as well as just my physical health and mental health. And I really need the gym to be able to think. Also, I'm struggling to open this. Wait a second, I'll be right back. This lipstick is finally opened. I also got it during my Black Friday sale on Charlotte Tilbury's website, and it's this really pretty lip gloss that I've used before. But everything from Charlotte Tilbury is just kind of pricey, and that's why I do like to wait until it's on sale to make these purchases. Yeah, I think this is the entire makeup look that I have. There's just like no good lighting in the evening, but overall this is how it looks. Not too crazy. I think the lighting over there was just too harsh, and that's why it just looked so terrible. But anyways, just once again, I am back on YouTube, and I will try to upload more consistently. I know that I just haven't uploaded much in the past few weeks whatsoever. Still trying to figure out a lot of things, but recently I also just hit my first 10K on a short, and it's always been one of the smaller milestones that I wanted to hit. So I'm just really happy that I was able to hit that, because I think smaller milestones lead to bigger milestones. And this is the final makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.